Hello and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Nissa and I make videos about motherhood and homemaking. This is our kitchen. We just recently remodeled it and I'm so grateful for how it is turning out. We still need to paint our shelving and put some beadboard up, but I collected a ton of thrifted finds that I want to incorporate into the kitchen to add a little bit more organization and charm. Currently, we have our supplements sitting out on the shelving, which I don't really love the look of, and the top of our fridge is just a hot mess, and I got a nice big basket to put stuff in on it. But this is all that I collected from the thrift store. We have a ton of plates, outlet covers. The sign that says bless our home actually was in my father's house. And then I have these little ceramic handprints that are my kids' hands that I made and I want to hang up somewhere. I also found these canisters, which I think are amazing find, and a napkin holder. It was so funny. This sign had a penny stuck in it. My dad has literally had this ever since I was a little girl and he gave it to me, so I wanted to add it in my home somehow. But I'm just starting off with the napkins and putting them in the napkin holder. When I have a ton of decor collected and sitting around that I'm gonna put up all at once, I find that I get very overwhelmed and like frazzled easily. It is much easier for me to add like one or two things at a time into my house than doing like a whole big change at once. But anyway, I'm starting off with this big plate that I had on the shelf. It kept falling and I really didn't want to see it break. I love this holiday plate. I got these hook adhesives to hang it on the wall. I got these off Amazon. I'm just going to wipe the plate off because it is a little dusty and I want to make sure that the hook sticks on really nicely. But I'm thinking that I want to switch out where I hang this on the wall with like seasonal plates. So I want to definitely get a nice big Christmas plate to put up on my wall and then see if I can find like a big floral like spring and summer plate, one with a bunny on it. I feel like would be so cute. But I will show you where I'm thinking of hanging it. I decided that I needed to wait for my husband's help to do this because one, I wanted to make sure that I could stand back and like get it in the right spot. Also, this plate is quite heavy. It probably is over 5 pounds. Hardware that I had gotten out, I was thinking probably wouldn't hold this and that it would need a drywall anchor, which I am horrible at putting in the wall. If I put a drywall anchor in, you know, I'm just gonna mess that up and there's gonna be a big hole in my wall. So yeah, I decided it'd be best if my husband did this for me. These adhesives were really strong and I put them on all of my other plates too that I'm going to hang on the walls, and you'll see that later in the video. This is the spot that I was envisioning this plate would be, and as you can see from right here, I'm putting it up way too high and it really needed to go lower and I just couldn't like see that from being up here, so I'm like trying to make a mark and fiddle around with it, but yeah, I'm just gonna end up giving up and letting my husband do it for me. I'm now on the other side of my hood and I'm just putting up a couple of plate and like a little house option that I was thinking of putting here. However, I was having a really hard time deciding, so I'm just kind of right now like visualizing like the ideas, and then I decided that I'm going to come back to this later on and move on to something else for right now. Like I said earlier, I just feel like my brain was kind of like buffering in this moment. Like I was having a very hard time making the decision about where I wanted things. However, I did know that I wanted my tiny little plate and teacup to be right here. I thought they were perfect for this little like, what is this called? Like a pillar. Just because they're so tiny and I feel like they just add like a nice little like piece of charm and like focus right here and fill in the space really well. So I just went ahead and marked out some holes for that and hung these up on the wall. I literally think these little mini plates are the most adorable things, and they're probably my favorite addition to my kitchen in this video. Please leave a comment down below what your favorite thing it was that I added to this kitchen. I hope that you find encouragement that you don't have to buy new and fancy things to add like decor to your home, that you can get stuff from the thrift store. That's where I got this basket that I'm putting up, and I just took all the supplements that were on the shelf sitting out and moved them into that basket. The other darker rattan basket has more supplements in it. I love taking supplements, so I just, you know, I need my baskets to put them in. But yeah, anyway, so I just wiped down that shelf and I'm kind of like rearranging over here now. I'm kind of just gonna let this area cook for me a little bit. And I am gonna take these 3 canisters and put some of our highly used like pantry goods in here. We use chocolate chips all the time, so I thought it'd be nice to have them in here. We use our cocoa powder or our cacao powder a lot, especially in chia pudding, smoothies. I'll even add it to like yogurt, our baked goods. And then the other canister, I was gonna add flour to it. However, I think it was a little too small for flour, so I am leaning towards adding popcorn seeds to it. However, we're currently out of popcorn, so I need to get more. But we make popcorn all the time. We make it on the stove with just some coconut oil, and then we'll melt butter and add Redmond sea salt to it. And it's a great movie snack, but we probably make popcorn at least once a week in this house. So yeah, as you can see, I'm like realizing that this canister is not going to be big enough for all the flour. So I got the other canister that I had. I used to keep einkorn flour in it, but we just ran out of that. So I'm just going to add our regular organic flour into it instead. Moving on to the top of my fridge, I'm now just taking everything down that was up here, and then I'm gonna wipe it down. I have this big basket that I'm kind of envisioning for up here, and I originally was thinking like we'll keep our paper products in it, but part of me was like, you know, we're gonna reach up for them pretty often because I definitely like default to paper products a couple times a week when I'm feeling really overwhelmed with dishes. So I decided to put all of our linens in the basket instead, like my runners and my tablecloths and my seasonal hand towels, because then I'm not going to reach for it as often, only when, you know, I'm switching stuff out, which I really don't do very much. So I keep all of those things in this bottom drawer in this dresser in my breakfast nook. And in this drawer is where I'm going to put all of our paper products instead. And this will be perfect too, because now the kids can even reach for those things too. And I tell them all the time, like, go get a cup or go get a plate, go get a bowl for yourself. And their cabinet is in our other piece of furniture in our kitchen that has all of their dishes in it. So this will work out for them also. They can now reach the other drawer that has the paper stuff. So yeah, now I am just putting this basket up here. I do think it looks a lot more neater and practical. However, we did still have like a couple of things I needed to like keep up here along with it. So it's not like the cleanest looking area, but it's still a huge improvement from what it was before. I had to put like the pretzel container back up there, and then my dad got like this 2-gallon container of protein powder that ended up on the fridge as well, but it's still a big improvement. Now I'm just back over to the little dresser piece of furniture, and putting all of our paper products in it. I also keep like our seasonal mugs in here and our grilling utensils, and then in the basket below it I keep all of our like extra shoes. Fun fact about this furniture is that my husband's grandmother, who was our kids' great grandmother, actually refinished it like 40 years ago or so, and I love the way it looks, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. But yeah, I'm so grateful to have it. Now I have this plate that I wanted to hang over these baskets, and I honestly ended up not loving it in this spot, so later on in the video I decided to put something else here. Now in my dining room, we have this beautiful archway that leads into the kitchen. I've had this sign here ever since we bought this house, and I kind of just always felt like it never really fit the space because it was a little small for the actual archway. So I'm gonna hang up these 3 plates. I'm kind of trying to like show you like my visualization here, because I have 2 of the blue plates and they're all like a little birdhouse theme, so I think it'll look super cute and like very charming. I'm trying to like go for like that old French cottagey farmhouse look. I feel like that's a lot of words to mix in, but I couldn't actually like tell you what my style is, but I do feel like it leans more towards like French farmhouse. These are the 3 plates all hung up. I think they're so cozy and just elegant in a way, and just like there's a lot of nostalgia in them, like, and that's what I want to create, is like my kids remembering my home and there being like a lot of nostalgic memories. But now my husband is going ahead and hanging that plate for me. He is putting in the drywall anchors, and then he's gonna put a screw in. Once I ended up seeing like the plate up on the wall, I was thinking that it was looking a little plain and that I should hang like another plate above it. I am leaning towards like that cream plate that had like the flowers on it that you saw me hang above the baskets, because I am gonna end up taking that down. However, I haven't done that yet. You won't see that in this video just because I'm still kind of like, you know, I'm letting that cook a little bit still, because I feel like I did just jump into so much change all at once that I need to now like sit on what I changed and now think about like what I want to add back in. But anyway, I did end up deciding that I wanted to add in this blue china plate here. It has like a cute little farmhouse scene on it, and I feel like it blends in really nicely with this love is patient sign and the baby's breath little teacup. So yeah, I love this here. Part of me is even thinking I might go back to the thrift store and look for like a second one or 2 more and like do a little like collage of them. But for right now, I'm very like content with how this is all coming together. Back over to the baskets that I have hanging up here, I decided to take the plate down, like I said, and I'm gonna hang this little house ceramic up here instead, because these baskets have like a ton of our homeschool supplies in them. I know they look really messy right now. They've also been like a bit of a dumping ground as well, but I feel like this kind of adds a little bit more to like the homeschool vibe of the baskets that I wanted to go for versus the plate. Now moving on to my breakfast nook is where I'm going to put the brass outlet covers. I actually got all of these from Habitat for Humanity, which is just like an amazing find. I did have to dig through like this giant basket of like plates, and there was probably like 200 to 300 outlet plates in there, or outlets covers, whatever you want to call them. And it was pretty grimy, like my hands were like felt really gross after, but you know, sometimes you just gotta like make a little sacrifice for those things, because I'm pretty sure I got these all for like 50 cents. The last thing I am adding is this little mini picture frame. I also got this from the thrift store for $1. And I have these two pictures of my daughter. I have like not a ton of pictures around my house of her, so I wanted to make this little like baby collage for her, and I'm gonna put this in front of my stove. And just, I don't know, it just brings me so much joy. Like, she's my last baby. We aren't sure if we're gonna have more babies or not, so this is just like a nice little reminder for me to just like appreciate like the baby stage that I had with her. I am taping these pictures down too, just so that they stay and don't slide around. And then I'm going to show you the shelf that I am putting them on. I decided that I really needed to clean that shelf because it's where I also keep my salt and pepper, and our pepper grinder just like kind of drops like peppercorn all over. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly wipe that down, and then keep our olive oil up here too because I kind of think it's a little pretty can. It's like a little nostalgic for me for some reason. Also, I know I mentioned that the teacup and the saucer that I put on our little pillar was my favorite thing in this kitchen that I added, but I don't know, this might be my favorite also. I think I like both of these spots equally. This one is just like, it just brings me so much joy like looking at this while I'm standing at my stove, especially the little baby picture. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some little inspiration from this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and here's a little overview of how my kitchen looks now.